What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Dermy Wormy, and I got some wonderful news for you and my great Quan, Rachel Zegler, and her upcoming new movie, the definitive movie that will dethrone the Marvels. Actually, I kind of believe it's gonna dethrone the Marvels on how bad it's gonna do, but excuse me, but what movie I'm talking about? Well, I'm talking about Hunger Games, and we're gonna start here. Actually, we're gonna start with the original Hunger Games movie. Look at that; it's sitting at 84%. You come here, let's even go to top critics. We're gonna do top critics because these are the critics that are actually paid for and stuff. Well, that are paid for by like Variety and the big name guys. 82% by top critics. Hunger Games Catching Fire, 89% on top critics. Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, 66% on top critics. And Hunger Games Part 2, 68% on top critics. You know what? I'd actually probably flip that around. I would make the second one probably the second lowest and the last one the lowest. But you know what? I'll give them credit for this. It was the end, and that's what people were happy about. They were happy that it was finally over. Well, then we had them, the studios, Lionsgate, went to the author and said, hey, make a book so we can make another movie off of it and make it a prequel all about President Snow. Well, you wouldn't know that it's all about President Snow if you were watching the trailers, but the Rotten Tomatoes scores are starting to come in for The Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And you know what? We'll start here. All critics are giving it a 67. Top critics have rated it rotten and given it a 45. This is the worst rated Hunger Games to date. And we got more on that as well. More things that are going to happen to this wonderful, this beautiful thing that my queen, my great glorious queen, Rachel Zegler, has created. Didn't need to do that. You want to know else that's happening? Hey, they got a box office change, but we're going to break down this box office just a little bit because the projections still show that this movie ain't going to do good. And there's a possibility that it does worse than the Marvels. Personally, I think it might do better. I think it might do a little bit better than the Marvels, personally. But let's read through this. Rachel Zegler's The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, sees box office projections slightly increase. Just slightly, but where do we start off? Okay, well, right here, box office tracking website Box Office Pro originally projected that the film would gross between 35 million and 45 million in its opening weekend. Now, for a movie that about this size, reported budget's about $100, so it needs to make about $250 to make money and stuff like that. That's how much it needs to do. It already was not projecting to do well. The outlet also predicted that the film would only gross between 900 million and 142 million in its entire run at the box office. Womp womp. And we'll continue. But this is their original projection, okay? This is where they began. Not good. Well, here's our updated. The site has since adjusted their projections for the film upward, noting that the film continues to slightly overperform with regards to expected tracking and pre-sales, particularly for post-preview showtimes on Friday. Okay. Box Office Pro now projects the film will gross between $38 million and $50 million in its opening weekend and go on to gross between $97 million and $157 million in its entire domestic run. This could be the third film that Rachel Zegler has starred in that bombs. My queen, Rachel Zegler, has another bomb coming up, possibly. And I just gotta say, because I find this hilarious. This is an actress that's being pushed on us. And I know it's the meme, okay? I'm calling her my queen, because she responded to me first and everything like that. And she wants me. It is what it is. But she has been pushed on us. I can name now 3 movies that she will be in, 4 that she will be in. well, that she, okay, you get the point. When this movie comes out, she would have been in 3 movies. She's going to be in 4 movies total that I can name. West Side Story, Shazam 2, Hunger Games, and last but not least, she is our new Snow White. And all 3 of her movies, first 2 movies, West Side Story and Shazam, they've bombed. This movie's projecting to bomb. Wonder how Snow White's gonna do. I'm gonna be honest. I wonder how Snow White gonna do, because this actress obviously isn't enjoyed. None of her movies have done well, but let's continue on, shall we? Because remember, this here is what it's projected to do its entire run. This is how much money it's projected to do. 97 million to maybe 157 million. I kind of hope that it does 157 million. That way it ekes out at least breaking even, while Marvel's doesn't. But let's see what else, you know. Even with the projections being adjusted upwards, the film is tracking for the worst opening weekend in the Hunger Games franchise. Worst opening weekend. And let's go through some of these numbers, shall we? The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, the last movie, had the worst opening weekend back in 2015. We're long since gone from 2015. Ticket prices have changed, and you gotta remember this, okay? As we go back through time, ticket prices used to be cheaper, but this is 2015 prices. Much different world than what we have now. $102.6 million is how much it made. Ticket prices. More people went to go see this movie than what's probably going to be projected for this upcoming movie. The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 opened with $121.8 million in 2014. The Hunger Games, this is jumping way ahead. This is the first one, opened with $152.5 million in 2012, and The Hunger Games Catching Fire opened up with $158 million. Opening weekend in the franchise at $158 million. Yes, I read that right. So all these movies, opening weekend, have grossed more money than what's even being projected that this will gross with its updated amount. Okay, its updated amount. $38 million to $50 million. Less people that saw the last movie are going to come see this movie. And I don't blame them. I do not blame them. But let's continue on. The overall domestic projections are also far behind the previous films in the franchise. The Hunger Games Catching Fire had the highest domestic gross of $424.6 million. God, my dyslexia kicked in there big time. Because that was the second movie. The first movie, that's usually what happens. If the first movie is really good, the second movie can actually project higher, and then it steadily declines sometimes. But that's average. The Hunger Games grossed $408 million. Mockingjay Part 1 grossed $337.1 million. And Mockingjay Part 2 grossed $201.7 million. Again, you scroll back up to what this movie's entire domestic run is projecting. $97 million to $157 million. It's going to be the worst. It's going to come up the worst. And when you look at what the reported budget is, according to Variety, it came out in October. That's the projected budget's about $100 million. Means about $250 million to break even in some situations, depending on how much they are actually using for marketing and things like that. I'll be generous, okay? You know, $250 million. It might not even break even. It might be a massive flop. I think it might break even. I think it might cross that line, you know. That means the movie likely needs to earn $250 million in order to break even to cover the box office split with the theaters, Lionsgate marketing budget and all that. Yeah, probably. They're going to try to find a way to spin it around. I kind of hope that it, you know, reaches out at least to break even. I kind of do. And I'll tell you why I kind of do. Because I want this movie to break even just because I want the Marvels to be just a bigger failure. But I don't think this movie's going to break even. I legitimately don't. I don't think this movie's going to come anywhere near it. And I think it's going to be a disaster. And it's going to possibly be Rachel Zegler's third disaster, which is hilarious in my book. But we'll see. We'll see come Monday how bad it truly is. But on that note, guys, if you like this video, please, guys, give it a thumbs up. Share it out, friends. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live. And, guys, please check out coffeebrandcoffee.com. What's going on, guys? Listen, it's Christmas season coming up, and you know what makes great gifts? That's right, Coffee Brand Coffee. Coffee Brand Coffee makes wonderful gifts, and guess what? They don't just have great coffees, teas, and CoCos. They also got gear, they got K-cups, and also they got wonderful gift boxes. Gift boxes that include all sorts of wonderful great goodies. You got chocolate covered coffee beans, raspberry yogurt pretzel twists, sea salt milk chocolates, caramel. You got chocolate covered coffee beans, peppermint hot cocoa, spicy and sweet treat mixes, kettle corn pop, premium vacuum travel tumblers, and all sorts of wonderful great stuff that you can get at Coffee Brand Coffee. And these make great Christmas gifts. So guys, please check out coffeebrandcoffee.com and use promo code BACKTACO at checkout to get 10% off your purchase. That's coffeebrandcoffee.com, promo code BACKTACO.